Good evening, my fellow citizens.
Welcome to Tuesdays Live. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm Mark. Nice to see you all again. Thank you for tuning in to Tuesdays Live again, like you do every week, hopefully. We got a great show lined up for you. But before we go there, let me remind you that we are an interactive show. What that means is pretty simple. We like to interact with you, the audience. Now, lately, y'all have been kind of shy and, you're not tweeting us a lot. I know you're sitting back there going, oh, gosh, I don't know. I don't think I can do that. I don't know. Well, you know what? Get on to Twitter and give us a tweet. We would love to hear from you. The way to do that is to give us a mention at AllIndie, ALLINDIE, just like you see right down there on the screen right there. And if you give us a mention on Twitter, we'll give you a shout out on the air, and we'll show your tweet on the screen just like you see right there. And and you can also ask our guest questions that way as well through Twitter. Now, if you are, if you prefer to do things by voice the old-fashioned way, well, we have a way for you to call us as well. And there's the phone number. Thanks, Rich. It's 347-985-0344. You can give us a call and chat with us on the air here. And we would love that as well. Either way, pretty soon we hope to have Skype integrated into our system as well, and you'll be able to contact us through that method, and we can even squeeze in another guest that way. Maybe we're working on it. We'll let you know when that's available. In the meantime, please don't be shy. Interact with us. We would love to hear from you. Let me go ahead and introduce to you my partner, and I'm going to swear off today. That's it. No more teasing him about his tiny town. We don't need to have town envy on this show. And besides, it's not the size of the town that matters. But we got a big personality right here, Mr. Rich Wildman. Hey, Rich.
It's not the size of the town. It's how you use it, Mark.
How you use the town.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a politician.
No.
Oh.
Not at all. Not at all. By the way, you give away all our secrets ahead of time, and that's not always a good thing, man. Just saying.
Uh-oh. What I do?
You told them about the whole Skype integration and everything like that, Yeah. Got to hold some of that stuff back and we surprise people with it.
We got to it's called anticipation.
We have no surprises if you keep telling everybody about it.
Well, you know what? We'll think of something.
Oh, I know you will.
Maybe next week you'll moon the audience in there. Surprise! I don't know.
Why not? But I know one person who will never moon you at all. Well, not unless you really want him to. Good segue. It's Walter. Walter over at the Indie Music Bus, and I got to tell you, that guy is phenomenal. If you don't know Walter, you should. You should follow him on indiemusicbus.com or on Twitter at Indie Music Bus. Go to Facebook and all that stuff. He's all over social media. What can you say about the guy? He's out there to help indie artists in any way he can. If you're out there wondering how social media works, wondering how to get your music in front of program managers at radio stations, perhaps, or just heard by more and more people, all you got to do is go to indiemusicbus.com and find out more from Walt. Here's a little something he put together for us for the show. That's the Indie Music Bus. Walt is waiting for you. IndieMusicBus.com or at Indie Music Bus on Twitter. Check him out.
He is sitting there waiting. He is twiddling his thumbs, going, when are they going to call me? When are they going to email me? All right.
He put up a new picture on Twitter the other day.
A picture of what? Of himself?
Yeah. He's a
Really?
selfie. He's a selfie hound now. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
He's out there.
Thank you very much.
He's just taking pictures of him. He's all over the place. He's going to be the new Kim Kardashian.
You know what? Like he's like taking pictures of his T-shirts that he's wearing from different bands and stuff. That's what he's doing, isn't he?
I just think I'm waiting for the nudies, Walt.
Oh,
Kardashian.
Geez.
Walt Kardashian.
Hey, if he keeps it up, he might get invited to the White House for some important consultations, that will affect the rest of the world.
It could happen. It could happen.
I'm sorry, Walt.
Know.
We love you, Walt, but I'm sorry, Kim Kardashian's got a little bit better curves than you do. Sorry, but
you've never seen Walt's curves. You can't say that.
He's got a well. All right. Anyway, I'm not even going to go there because Walt's my friend. I like him. I've met him several times. I don't want to make fun of him. He's probably looking at this video going, "I hate these guys." Jeez. Anyway. Wow. Since Rich threw the camera over to me completely, I guess that means it's time for me to introduce our guest for the evening. Now, she seems like a hell of a lady, and she's coming in from Colorado Springs. I hope I got that right. I'm going to double check in just a second. Her name is Jenny Vinatieri, and boy, she's got a complete lineup of different types of music we're going to play tonight. And here she is. Jenny, come on the screen. Where are you? There you are. Hey, Jenny, how are you?
I'm good. Man, do I feel sorry for this Walt. I didn't know this was a clothing optional show or something.
Well, only for Walt. Okay. Walt was recently nominated one of the 10 sexiest men in America. So,
All right. Okay.
Right.
All right.
And if you believe that, there's this bridge for sale in New York. I think it's called like the Verrazano or something like that. I don't know. It's an Italian bridge. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So did I pronounce your name? Mark?
I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
Did I pronounce your name properly, Vinatieri?
You got it right.
I didn't use the,
yes, Vinatieri.
All right. Okay. So you are from an Italian family.
Yeah, now, we're Italian descendants.
Descent. You were born here in the States?
No, actually, I was born in Italy. So my dad and my mom's Spanish, and my dad was in the military in Spain, met her, whisked her off to Italy, and that's where I happened. So yeah.
That's where you happened. That's where I happened. Hey, I like that.
Hey,
that's a good one.
Made my entrance.
Where did you
literally?
No, all right. So do you speak Italian?
No. No,
do you speak Spanish?
Not at all. I do speak Spanish. Yeah, I'd like to say I'm rusty, but I just spent a couple of weeks there. And
lost your audio.
pretty okay. So seem to do okay.
All right. Yeah. Rich, did you hear that, or was that just me?
No, it was me. It was fine.
It was you.
We're good.
You turned down her audio? Were you
No,
bleeping her? Are you censoring our guest?
No, I'm not.
I'm offended. All right, I'm out.
You're not offensive. You're not offensive in any way, shape, or form. It's Mark who's offensive. I should be muting him, but I'm not. And
hey, look.
So
I took a shower today, so I'm not that offensive.
It depends on what you're. I was going to say it depends on what Mark's definition of offensive is. But
I guess so.
But yeah, I apologize for that. I'm a radio goob. I hit buttons for a living. That's what I do. And I accidentally hit a button I shouldn't have.
What is this pretty little button? All right. Okay.
Right.
Anyway, so getting back to you, Jenny. I know Rich likes to have his face on the screen there. I'm looking through your bio and I'm looking at your genres, and wow, you're like, bouncing all over the place with your genres. I see here you got adult contemporary, pop, EDM, club, and country crossover. I mean, you like it all, huh? Whatever it is, just lay it on me. I'll play it. And then Do, do you have a specific a favorite?
No, not really. I love playing with all types of music. I mean, my intent is it's kind of I'd like to break into the songwriting industry and just really write for other artists and so forth. And that's probably why you don't see many performances on my bio. I have been asked to do some, but I'm just getting to the point where I'm coming out with a second album here very soon, and it's going to be a lot of different influences out there in the music market right now. So I just like playing with different sounds and seeing what I can write to, and just kind of seeing where it goes from there. So I'm all over the place. I don't know that there's one specific category that someone can box me into, but I kind of like that too.
Well, that shows a wide range of talent. I'm curious though, um, how do you pick when you're writing a song? Do you say, okay, I'm in the mood for writing an EDM song today, and then you go that route, or does it depend on the subject matter that kind of pushes you in a direction, or how does that work for you? Or is
Sure.
it
Well, where I first started before I did this album for myself as a compilation of just kind of some songs I wrote, I was writing for some different groups here locally. And one was actually a rap group, and another one was a rock group, and so forth. So it was kind of fun because the way I would approach it is I would listen to the beat that they created and then kind of ask them, well, what did you feel when you wrote this? So that I could kind of write a story around it. And that's really how they come together. So I kind of get a sense of, I know what I'm feeling when I hear a piece of music. And I typically think, in vivid thoughts, and like a little mini movie pops in my head and I start writing about that. So before I go on a tangent, I like to ask the person who wrote the beat what they were thinking of when they wrote that, so that I can stay true to kind of that feel.
that's interesting? Okay, but that's for somebody else. But what about for yourself?
Well, for myself, so I don't actually write music. So I wish I could play 100 instruments, but I don't. Where my strengths are going to be more on the melody. So, like, if I hear something, I get a lot of artists send me beats, and I can listen to something, and within a couple of seconds, know whether or not I can write to it. Um, and it typically happens pretty quickly. So I can write a couple of songs in a day, just kind of in my off time. If I didn't have a full time job, then I'd be doing this all the time. So, but no. So for myself, what I ended up doing, because I wanted to put a project together, I actually went online, searched for some beats and so forth, found a site that actually sold a bunch of beats, just kind of played around with some different ones that really inspired me. And some of them already had songs too. Other ones I just wrote something to real quick and just kind of put a little album together, and now I've got a second one that's coming out here shortly.
That's really cool. And yeah, I noticed on your bio that the last sentence of your bio says that your ultimate goal would be to write for current and potential upcoming talent. So you'd rather be a behind the scenes person than out there in the front doing the performance.
Yeah, at this point in my life, I mean, I still get hit up to do a lot of shows and so forth. Could I do it? Yeah, but I'm kind of in a place. I mean, if I had an opportunity, and some, like, obviously if some record label came out to me and said, "Hey Jen, we want to go ahead and support you and do this and so forth," obviously I would entertain it. It would be a blast. But I think right now I love writing all sorts of different things, and that's just where my passion is. And I just love to get, again, kind of a portfolio out there of the different types of music that I can do, just to kind of give people an idea, in hopes that there's a record label or some artist out there that maybe wants to partner and get some things together. So right now, in addition to doing these two albums, I have had a few other artists that do specifically EDM and some other genres reach out to me. We're partnered up in some efforts, and I have some songs floating around there, and we'll see what happens, or who picks it up. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, hopefully something come about it. So your album, you look at your albums more of a as a portfolio to show what you're capable of doing, more so than than anything else at this point, and that's pretty cool. I've never, I don't think I've ever that's taken that approach with their music, and that's I like that. I can respect that because a lot of people
Thank you.
they want to be the center of attention. They want to be the person on that stage, and hey, check me out, and whereas hey, this is what I can do for you, and
Sure.
I like really good. I like that. All right, well. Let's go ahead and play your first song of the evening, which I have here as listed as Again. Tell
Okay.
us a little bit about this tune, how it came to be. What, did I get it wrong? What are you laughing
No,
at?
this is great. No, it's great. It's really weird because the story behind this one, I remember exactly when I wrote it. I wrote it before I actually found the music. So it's a song I actually wrote before I found the music to go with it. And I just happened to be hiking here in beautiful Colorado, and it was a beautiful day. And I love hiking because you can get your mind off of things and so forth, and I can be very creative. And just wrote it while I was hiking. And about a year later, when I decided to do this thing and put this album together, I came across this piece of music that I felt kind of gave it the energy that I really wanted. And so I combined the two and recorded it.
And what's the genre on this one?
I would probably say kind of a dance pop type feel. You can tell me, but it's a very energetic song. It's just a song about anyone going through kind of multiple relationships in a sense and breaking up and just kind of kind of getting stuck in that routine and knowing that something needs to change.
All right, cool. Let's let the audience take a listen. The name of the song is Again by Jenny Vinatieri right here on Tuesdays Live.
My life, love me, leave me, miss me, kiss me, say the sorry, I'm not listening, don't have to think twice. Thought it through, I see it clearly, no more clouded touch is steering me the wrong way. Down the path that is straight for heartbreak. I've learned from my mistakes, now I choose a road, let's travel, no more riding shotgun from my What place. You gonna do when you want me back? What you gonna say when you come crawling on your knees? Have you no tag? Don't come begging me, cause I'm not falling. What you gonna do when you want me back? What you gonna say when you come crawling on your knees? Have you no tag? Don't come begging me, cause I'm not falling. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
That was again by Jenny Vinatieri right here on Tuesdays Live. You know, sometimes I get these song melodies stuck in my head when I go to bed at night, and it drives me nuts. So tonight it's going to be, here we go. I'm going to be going that over my head.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm gonna haunt you.
Jenny, get out of my head. Oh. All right. As is customary on Tuesdays Live, Rich takes over the middle of the show. So let me go ahead and bring him back into the mix. Rich, come on in.
You know, Jenny, when he says the middle of the show, he means the second part, the first part of the middle. So yeah.
Okay.
That's only because it's the first part of the middle, only because you talk too much.
I don't.
All right, because then you take over the second part of the middle, and then it just keeps going.
I think it's because I talk slow, is what it is. All right, now I have questions for you, and I ask you this question off air, but I'm going to ask you on air now, and this is going to seem kind of sexist, but you know, I'm an old man and I'm allowed, I think, at least a little bit of leeway, a little bit. Why is it that it appears that women are so much better than men when it comes to harmonies? I mean, I just listening to your last song, the harmonies on it are wonderful. And I could not do such a thing. I have problems with harmonies, and it seems like just from my jaded point of life view, that women are so much better at it than men are.
Maybe we have, I don't know. I'm just thinking in my place, I'm thinking, do I have multiple personalities, or I had different vibes going on, and so I wanted to incorporate them all and so forth. I just had fun with it. I do know some guys that have the great capability of melodies and so forth, and do sound really well. But I don't know. I mean, I guess that's an opinion you have, which I appreciate. I just I don't know that I would feel the same way. I think that I'd have to give that one some thought, because I think guys can do just as good a job. Like I said, you two should probably get together and do a harmony.
If they really put their minds to it, guys can do as well as women, right?
Oh yes, there you go.
Yeah, there was that old the song in the musical. What was it, Guys and Dolls, or maybe it was? No, it wasn't
Anything
Guys
you
and
can do,
Dolls. Yeah, it wasn't Guys and Dolls, was it? That was.
No, I don't think so.
I remember the musical, but I don't remember the name of it. It's my fault.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. The next
good.
question I have has to do with something you told Mark, and just listening to the previous song here, how well the music and the vocals fit together. I mean, everything just clicked in that track.
Sure.
The question I have for you is, you had mentioned to Mark that you're not an instrumentalist. Where do you get your music from? Do you have people come in, studio musicians come in and play? Do you have others write music for you? How does that work out?
Well, so in this crossroads a few years back, I got into this rut where I felt like I was writing for a lot of groups here locally, and I felt like I was putting out these little babies of mine, and they wouldn't really go anywhere. And so I got a little frustrated and thought, well, I want something to show for this. So that's when I again decided, well, let me just do this for myself and put an album out there and see what kind of, I guess, reception it receives from the public. And
it's been good reception, though.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it, and the way it's been received. And so that's why I'm continuing to do this, in hopes that it turns out to be something that I can do full time. I would love to do this full time. But so what I did was I went on the internet and found a couple of sites that had beats on them, and you can actually do this. And I listened to a couple of them, and I decided I wanted exclusive rights on these beats. So I reached out to them directly, and we negotiated some contracts and so forth. And I have full rights to those. And so what I ended up doing was I already had some of these songs. So like with this song Again, obviously I'm singing it very fast, which took a while to kind of get that flow down.
Yeah, I was gonna admonish.
Head.
I was gonna talk to you about that. Not really admonish you about it, but being an older guy who lived in the South for a lot of years, talking that fast is just never going to happen for me. So yeah, how long did you have to?
Not too long. I partnered with a really great guy here in Colorado Springs. Now he's moved to LA and he's doing some bigger things. He was a great engineer, lived in this little dumpy house at the time, which I'm sure he would agree because he always called it that. So it looks a little shady, but this guy put all his money in his equipment and was phenomenal. He's a great engineer. And again, he's doing big things in California. And I had the luck to find him and to partner with him. And I learned a lot from him. And he kind of believed in what I was doing. So we partnered together to get this first group of songs out. And he actually did a lot of the production on it. So I'd give him the beat. So I got the wave file, sent it to him, and then we would kind of do a run through of this is what I think this song should sound like. Here's the words, that type of thing. And then we really worked at blending the two. So as far as getting it out of my mouth, because I have a lot of these songs in my head and I don't really practice them until I actually have material to write them to. I usually just practice in the studio and I can usually crank it out pretty quickly. So I don't know necessarily why, but the ideas come to me very quickly. I can write very quickly and I can record it very quickly. So that's just kind of my talent. And again, I'm hoping that someone will eventually pick up on it or find someone liking to it and I can partner with more people in regards to this.
With you being a quick artist, as you just said, you do everything quickly. And with you crossing so many genres, it's only a matter of time before someone notices, in my opinion. And I really wish
so.
Yeah, and I think they should very quickly. Otherwise, somebody else is going to, either way, somebody's going to pick you up and not let you go, and then somebody's going to miss out. So now tell me about the recognition that you've gotten over the years, because I've seen here in your bio that we have semifinalist, grand prize winner in a number of different competitions, international unsigned only, USA songwriting competitions, Divine Tracks contest. Tell us about those and what that was like.
Sure. So I thrive on public criticism, I guess, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. So I just kind of take it as all of it's positive, even if it comes off as negative. But I have to go into this thinking that not everybody is going to like everything I do, right? Some people might not like anything I do, might not like me, but there's a huge population out there. And as long as somebody can relate or I can speak through my music and offer somebody some sort of relief or release or from the real world, that's my ultimate goal, is just to share that message. But so what I ended up doing to get some honest feedback, I submitted some of the songs to some of these competitions and they were actually well received. And so in some cases I was a semifinalist, in some cases I was a finalist and so forth for my songwriting capabilities and so forth. I don't consider myself a good singer. There are a million singers out there. I guess I'm just blessed with a decent voice as to where I can record this. But again, my intent is to, if I'm going to put these songs out there and hope that somebody picks them up or at least notices my talent and I can write for them, I want them to know that I can do it, right? So I have to have some sort of a good voice or a decent voice to be able to record them so that they can get the gist of what this should sound like. But yeah. So, so I started I have a Facebook page and I signed up for Reverb Nation. Somebody said, hey, start a profile there. And I actually submitted my songs for this critique that they did. And what they do is they send it out to 100 unknown people that I don't know. And they could be in different genres. They could be people who love country or rock or something like that aren't going to relate to my music, but they basically try to give an unbiased opinion. And what ended up happening, and I actually have them on my Facebook page for people to read because I wanted to share them with my fans and just kind of let them know, my intent is for anybody who I write for in the future, for them to kind of know, hey, this is kind of the feedback that you might get. I had some people that provided some really funny, harsh feedback, and I had to laugh at it. And I was like, well, I don't like everything either. So I had to kind of take it one way or another. And what ended up happening was actually most of the feedback was positive, and it got me high enough scores as to where I was Reverb Nation's sponsored artist on their web page, on the front page, and so forth. And it's allowed me to reach out to a lot of different radio stations, and I've had a lot of people just come through the woodwork and hit me up, and I entertain those opportunities, obviously, since I'm trying to get my name out there. So that's kind of how I'm going about it. And again, I'm hoping that it lands in the right hands.
Oh, sure. Now, you said you appreciate honest feedback. Now, I'm going to give you one bit of honest feedback, and I got to tell you, it's
all right.
It's not great. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you.
That's fine.
Your website, it's really out of date.
Yep. Right. It absolutely is. And the reason behind that, so that's one of the things that, originally I was trying to get a lot of social media going. Well, I'm not a website designer. I actually had a friend who put it together for me. He actually did a really good job, but you can't really, it was free, obviously. So he put it together for me, and that was actually the second attempt at a website. So I really just kind of backed off from the website, honestly, and just kind of started driving all the listeners, hopefully, to Instagram and Facebook and Reverb Nation. And that's really where I'm doing the push right now. So I kind of backed off from the website only because I'm definitely not a website engineer, and I can't keep that up. I know we were talking about earlier social media. It's a full-time job, and I have a full-time job, so I'm trying to keep up with all these mediums as far as I can, and just kind of stay connected with fans and feedback. But at some point, hoping that this takes off, maybe I'll have an engineer that can do that for me.
Yeah, no, I understand completely. I really do. I know Mark is itching to come back in, so I'm going to bring him back up here because the bottom of the hour, he's like, we got to play another song. I know. And yes, Mark, I see what you're talking about, and I'll see if I can take care of that too.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if you saw that message or not. All right.
I see everything.
Yeah. Everything. You are the all-seeing, the all-knowing.
I am.
You just need that third eye right here.
I have too many wrinkles there for a third eye.
All right. The next song we have up then is called Any Less. So, Jenny, tell us a little bit about this tune and how it came to be.
Yeah, sure. So this was another one, actually, that I had already written the song a cappella and found some music to kind of go with it for the feel that I wanted. And so another relationship song. So this one's in regards to, when you get to a point, and I've seen so many friends, we've all been through this, and you get to a point where you're holding on to a relationship, but you don't know, or that it's not going anywhere, right? It's not going to get any better. You've pretty much fought as hard as you could. And you know that you're not going to love this person any less or any more, I guess. That's really the meaning of the song. I don't love you any less, but I don't love you anymore. So you're kind of checking out of the relationship because you kind of know that you have to. It's not going to go anywhere. So it's basically coming to that acceptance and getting your own closure by making that decision yourself.
All right. Very nice. Let's let the audience take a listen. Ladies and gentlemen, the name of the song is Any Less by Jenny Vinatieri. Right here on Tuesdays Live. Kick It Rich.
It's no funny thing when your heart is broken. It feels like you're dead inside, and it messes with your head. Everyone has spoken.
That was Any Less by Jenny Vinatieri right here on Tuesdays Live. Hope you're all doing well out there tonight and having a good time. I know we had a little bit of an issue with our stream, but it seems to be back up and running fine. If you missed any portion of the live video, don't worry about it. We will have the full 1 hour show posted at our YouTube channel and which is actually embedded in our website. So you can go right to tuesdayslive.com starting tonight, and you can see the whole show, the whole shebang from the beginning to the end. And so we do apologize, but this is what happens when you do a live show. Sometimes technical things come up. Thankfully, we have
pushed again.
Thankfully, we have a technical guru.
Not only does Mark blame me, but now Jenny. Okay, all right, I get it.
Yeah, you're doing good there, Jenny. You know, keep it up. I like it when someone's on my side for a change. Anyway, don't forget, also give us a tweet if you have any questions or comments, or you just want to say hi, or whatever. Tell us the price of gas in your part of the woods, whatever. It's okay. We would love to hear from you. Either way, we'll put your tweet up on the screen down there. So Jenny, tell me a little bit about Colorado Springs now. How did you end up there? First of all, I hear it's a beautiful town.
It's gorgeous.
And
yeah, it's beautiful.
How did you end up in Colorado Springs? Was that your family you moved there, or is that on your own you moved there?
Yeah. So I had mentioned that my dad was stationed in Spain, met my mom. I happened in Italy. So I grew up basically overseas. And then we moved here, I was 15 turning 16. And I've basically been here ever since. My dad has retired here. I've got family here. It's gorgeous. So I get back and see family every once in a while. That's where I just actually spent the last 2.5 weeks, was visiting family in Spain. And so got my fix and I'm back here. I think I'm here to stay. It's gorgeous. Beautiful.
I've never been there, but I hear it is.
Yeah.
We have our very first guest on Tuesdays Live was a gentleman by the name of David Starr. Oops, just banged my camera. And he's a country artist, and he lives in Cedar Edge, which is about a 5-hour drive from you.
Okay.
And his producer was John Oates from Hall & Oates.
Oh,
and
very cool.
We had him on the show with us on our very first our premiere episode. That was kind of cool having him on with us. That was our 15 minutes of fame, was that first show with John Oates on the show.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I do get picked up, I'll jump back on your show too anytime. So
that would be great. That'd be great. You should look up David Starr. He's great. He's an older gentleman, I guess, probably. I don't know. Is he around your age, Rich, or older?
I was going to say, if you say my age, I'm going to have to slap the crap out of you.
Oh, jeez.
But no, he is probably younger than I am, to be honest with you. I don't know.
No, he's a good guy, country artist, and I think you'll like his music. I see because I see you do some country. You do country crossover, and but his is more hardcore country.
So what I got a question I got to ask. Mark had asked about Colorado Springs. I've been to Colorado Springs, by the way. What's the indie music scene like in Colorado Springs?
There's a ton of talent out here. There really is. I'm trying to work with right now. There's a huge push to kind of get Colorado Springs on the map, and I'm actually working with my new studio that I'm producing my second album with, and he's got a huge footprint in Boulder, Colorado. I actually drove all the way out there. He heard of me, reached out to me, and knew I needed an engineer. So I actually drove out there. It was a 2-hour drive to record. And since then, we've developed quite a large, quite a good relationship. And he's wanting to partner with me to do something out here. So it's still kind of in the works, but there's just, I've just mentioned to him, there's a ton of talent out here. just from different genres and so forth, just undiscovered talent. And if you go to like Manitou Springs or Old Colorado City, there's so many little bars that you can go to and listen to live music, as to where musicians, that's what they do. They put their money and their heart into their music. They're not out there trying to necessarily market themselves. They're putting all their money and time into their music. That's where their heart is. And I just kind of feel like these individuals need to be discovered some way or another. There needs to be some sort of forum or whatnot. So really trying to make some networking connections here, and partner with my partner, KMG, Greg Kimball of KMG in Boulder, and try to get something started here, hopefully in the next few months, if possible. So we'll see. I'm really hoping to be a driving force in that.
That would be awesome. I mean, that I like that, being on that side of the coin. And I think Rich would agree with me as well. We like to help other people. And if we see an opportunity to give someone a little boost, or if we see that there's a particular area where that maybe needs a little bit more attention, we'd like to try to drive people in that direction. And that's awesome. I hope that works out for you. I really do. We need to get some labels out there, or maybe start your own.
Right. And exactly. We're just trying to figure out what exactly is needed here. We tossed around the idea of starting a school, starting a label, starting some content development, for those individuals who need the marketing. So we're just trying to kind of hone in on what exactly we want to focus efforts on. And, actually, the way I found out that there's so much talent here is I have a lot of the individuals here locally who have reached out to me. And, I'm always going to entertain a conversation and the chance to meet someone face to face. So I've made some really great contacts, and just some really, there's just some really great individuals out here that are so extremely talented in their area of expertise, that I think there's a way to connect everyone together and use their talents to actually build something out here. So I think that once we figure out what direction we want to go, we may actually have the people in place that might want to partner with us to drive that, so that it can become something in the long run.
That's awesome. Now, what about venues? Are there places for people to perform?
Yeah, actually. So I have a buddy of mine who just opened up a venue. So a lot of the stuff is bringing in, talent from other areas, indie artists or high level acts and so forth. So I have a buddy that actually just opened up a venue where he's bringing in talent all over, and so that's live performances. There's the oh gosh darn, now of course it's gonna evade me. But we've got a lot of, there's the, not Stardust. Darn it, I'm thinking Black Pegasus. Black Pegasus is actually a local rap group, but they perform at, it's downtown here. Why can't I think of it? Darn it. Let's just say there's a lot of venues right now. I even know that there's a development happening here in South Colorado Springs where they're cleaning up a lot of stuff, and they're going to have some amphitheaters out there for bands to go play and for people to enjoy the talent in the outdoors. Because again, Colorado Springs is beautiful. I don't know if you've probably heard of Red Rocks in Denver, and that is honestly my favorite venue. I mean, it's out in the middle of the rocks, out in the middle of nature. You can see the city at night as a backdrop, and the acoustics, it's just insane. Just being there, I get goosebumps every time I go. So kind of that similar concept is just trying to get a lot more venues out here, so there's a lot more talent that has those resources available to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't keep plugging his name, because that's not. I mentioned David Starr to you before, and I'm not trying to rehash his name, but the reason why I'm bringing it back up though is because it's one thing that you and him have in common is he just opened up a place. I think it's in Cedar Ridge. It's called the Grand Mesa Art Center, and
nice.
and it's a little theater, and he invites local talent from all over to come and perform in this place. It just opened a few days ago, and I think, if I remember sometime off the air, I'm going to get you two together. Maybe you two
Yeah,
can
no,
work
that would be
together.
great. Yeah,
He is
absolutely.
he is also big into getting the local music scene out there as well, getting the indie artists up and coming, get their names heard and their songs heard. So
That would be a
um,
fantastic connection. I appreciate it.
absolutely. Okay, with the time starting to wind down here, we're going to go ahead and play your third and final song of the evening, which is called "Have a Nice Day." And just remember, I can't remember where it comes from, but my wife always does this. "Have a nice day."
You're right.
Yeah, I don't remember where that comes from. There's a movie. I just don't remember which one it was. So tell us a little bit about this tune.
Yeah. So this one I actually didn't have already written. I was on a site and heard the piece of music and just really liked it and connected with it. And so I wrote "Have a Nice Day" to it. And it just kind of seemed like an easygoing, fun type of vibe. And where I was at and kind of where I'm at right now is basically, I'm going through this journey or this adventure of trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up, I guess, in a sense. I've always known that I wanted to do something with music, but, it's not like I was walking on the street and got discovered or whatnot. I haven't had that luck. So I'm trying to create it for myself. And it's basically about going on this journey, and you're going to have challenges and people that try to bring you down, people that do support you as well. So it's just kind of going through this journey, getting rid of the baggage and learning from it and overcoming the obstacles. And if you want to come along for the ride, you'll be there at the end with me, kind of that type of a thing. So that's really the metaphor here.
All right, very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, the name of the song is "Have a Nice Day" by Jenny Vinatieri, right here on Tuesdays Live. Go ahead and take it, Rich.
Cruising down the highway, doing about 78. Tunes are cranked up all the way, making good time at a steady pace. Someone honks behind me, yelling things I dare not repeat. You can do your own thing, just stay out of my way. Won't succumb to road rage, nowhere fast, I'd rather wait. Blinkers on, switching lanes, pass me on the left. Hey! Birdies flash, smile and say, have a nice day. I wanna enjoy the ride, make waves with my hands out the window as I drive. Let my hair down in the wind and fly, shades on, the future's bright. Heading down the interstate, taking in the sights along the way. Sun is lighting up the day, got a feeling things will be okay. Someone's all up on me, on my tailgate, invading my space. You can do your own thing, just stay out of my way. It's not a cat and mouse chase, life is not a rat race. Blinkers on, switching lanes, pass me on the left. Hey! Birdies flash, smile and say, have a nice day. I wanna enjoy the ride, make waves with my hands out the window as I drive. Let my hair down in the wind and fly, shades on, the future's bright. Peace, love, not hate. Have a nice day. Peace, love, not hate. Wait, what? Hey! You can do your own thing, just stay out of my way. Won't succumb to road rage, nowhere fast, I'd rather wait. You can do your own thing, just stay out of my way. It's not a cat and mouse chase, life is not a rat race. I wanna enjoy the ride,
That was "Have a Nice Day" by Jenny Vinatieri. If you were actually
Sure.
watching the video while that was playing.
Oh, wait, wrong way.
There,
No, wait a minute.
gotta-
I'm going this way. Wait, let's go.
that way.
Up this way. There you go.
All right.
Sure,
Hey, I don't know
blame-
where that finger's going, so be careful there.
Yeah,
All right.
all I have to say is, if you're gonna blame the bald guy, make sure you know which
Mhm.
bald guy it is.
At least I have a little bit.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of hair, so yeah. Yeah, that was kind of. I'm trying to picture, watching that from a viewer perspective and watching starting to write down the title. Oh, I like this song. Let me write down, and then all of a sudden it changes before your very eyes. And you're like, wait. Oh no.
You know, maybe we've just inspired Jenny to come up with some new songs by all the mishaps we've had on the program.
Change her name
I
to
just
Michelle
might-
Jolie.
I could go into maybe comedy type song or something. There you go.
There you go. Writing for Weird Al Yankovic next. All right.
Yes.
And going back, I actually do think that would be kind of a cool stage name for you, Jenny V.
Jenny V.
Jenny.
Yeah, that's we'll see if I do get the opportunity to get up on stage. So
That's your radio name, Jenny V. Jenny V in
Jenny
the
V.
mornings. Yeah, Jenny V in the morning.
Oh gosh, you heard it here first, folks. Unfortunately, errors and all, we have to start working our way out of the show. We have to start shutting things down. I mean, this is, hey, what's the worst that can happen in the next 4 minutes, Rich?
Well, I could tell you, but then I didn't.
could accidentally click the wrong button.
I've got so many buttons around here. It's a wonder. It's like I haven't already accidentally
Right?
clicked the wrong button today already, huh? So yeah, I saw that. I see. That's one thing I didn't tell you. When I look over here, I see the same thing as I see over here.
I was trying to find it perfectly, but yeah, you didn't tell me about that.
No, I didn't. It's my little secret.
Oh gosh. All right. Jenny, thank you for taking the time to join our messed up show tonight. We really appreciate it.
It was fun.
And we certainly hope that things work out the way you want them to. And we would love to have you back on the show again sometime in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. A pleasure was mine, guys. I had a lot of fun.
I promise if you come back, I won't have so many wrong buttons.
No worries. That's what makes it fun. So you got to learn from that and just kind of go with it. So,
One thing I hope Rich doesn't mind me saying this, but one thing that a lot of people don't know about him is that he's colorblind. So if he's reminding himself to push the red button, that doesn't help.
Right.
No, it
Right.
doesn't. I've got, you know the colors of the buttons on the control panel we use, Mark. In fact, I've got a keyboard over here that has all the shortcuts on it. I've got a control panel, and there are just so many different ways of doing this. But I've got a bunch of different colors on there, but what they are, I have no clue. So
I'm gonna raise money and get him, a pair of those glasses that all of a sudden lets colorblind people see color. Oh, that'd be awesome.
He's red,
Wow, I didn't know that
blue,
was-
whatever. I don't know.
All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it was as always, it's been a pleasure having you here tonight. And thanks again to Jenny for hanging out with us and
Thank
putting
you,
up
Jenny.
with our BS last
Yeah,
hour.
thanks for having me.
And next week, we have a gentleman joining us who has been on he was on Twitter Tuesday Live, I think 3 or 4 times. I'm not sure. I've also had the pleasure of meeting him in person a few times, both in LA and in New York City. And y'all have heard of him. I'm sure his name is Jamie Alamurad. And Rich, do you want to talk about the little trivia thing, or do you want me to do it?
It's really quite interesting. We both know Jamie to a certain degree, you better than I. But Jamie had appeared on a previous program that I did as well, called Music Scene Investigation, where we had industry experts come in and review tracks that indie artists had done and select a song of the week out of, and subsequently song of the month, song of the year, and all that stuff out of 3 songs every week. And May 26th, 2013, Jamie Allenrad appeared on MSI with this particular track, which was kind of interesting, and it was selected Song of the Week, believe it or not.
That's right. It was, and it's a great tune. Y'all are going to love it. In fact, I think. And one other bit of information from that show, Rich. The host, your guest host.
Guest host, yeah,
Carol.
absolutely,
Yeah.
It was Carol.
That's right, Carol. If you're watching, you were the guest host that day. You probably don't remember. You were drunk as always. The name of the song.
She's going to hate you even worse. The name of the song was "That's What She Said."
Yeah, can't get much worse. Rich.
I don't think that was the way it would. The tone was the way
That's
it was meant to be seen. Yeah, I don't.
Yes. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, next week our guest is Jamie Allenrad. We're going to close out the night with a song by him. This is actually an older tune from one of his, as you know, this song appeared in 2013, but you're going to love it. It's called That's What She Said. We look forward to seeing you next week right here on Tuesdays Live. Y'all have a great night. Oh, and good night, Carol.
Good night, Carol.
From the moment we met, you blew me away. You let me inside and you wanted me to stay. You tell me go slow, you don't wanna feel the pain. Every go round, you're driving me insane. There's a void inside of your soul. I want so bad to feel that hole. That's what she said. I want it all. That's what she said. I want it all the time. You wanna help out? Then come give me your hand. You wanna make me into a better man. Show me where to go and what to do. All I wanna do is spend my time with you. I can't resist when you act that way. It's getting harder every day. That's what she said. Wanna keep going on as long as we can. If it's ever gotta end, we'll go out with a bang. That's what she said. I want you all. That's what she said. I want you all the time. That's what she said. I want you all, that's what she said. It's been a wild ride.
Oh, my bad. Totally slept on that.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.